What's good, people? I told you I was going to be back, and here I am with my top 10 most complimented fragrances in my personal collection. This is not something that I compiled by watching other people's videos and saying what they liked or what was most complimented in their collections. This is mine. This is my 160 some odd fragrances that I wear. This is what I can remember in my mind that I've worn in the past months, weeks, or whatever that I remember people complimenting me on. Now, I do have some honorable mentions that I would like to throw out there first and foremost. So, with that being said, let's give this a go around. First up, my first honorable mention is from the house of Paco Rabanne. This is Invictus Intense. Um, Great scent. Me personally, I have not had the compliments to back it up. I've only worn this maybe twice since I've had it. Um, People seem to like the original Invictus more. Um, a lot of people like to say that it is bubblegummy, kind of playful, childish. This is the intense version, which is a little more grown up, a little more refined. Um, I don't expect younger people to understand this one. I like it. I just don't wear it because I don't get the compliments like I think it should. This is Paco Rabanne's Invictus Intense. Next up is going to be a shocker to a lot of people in the fragrance community because everyone always says that this is a banger. Um, they like this one more than they like the original and the cologne version. Um, I can't speak on the other flanker because I don't own it. I have smelled it. I like the flanker, but this one is 1 million lucky. This has hazelnut and some other sweet notes. This is not as sweet as the original 1 million. 1 million Privé is a great scent. I found a 200 ml bottle for like 80 bucks, but I can't bring myself to purchase it yet. I'm trying to wait to see if the price goes down a little further. But until then, I'll just stick with this one. And if the 200 ml doesn't go down in time enough or it sells, then I'll just purchase the smaller one, which is the 50 ml bottle for about $45 online. But this is 1 million lucky. I haven't gotten any compliments whatsoever when wearing this. I don't know what the deal is, but I like it nonetheless. Still a banger. So those are my two honorable mentions. Um, Now to the list. Now, like I said, these fragrances are fragrances that I have worn within the past several weeks or months. Um, and I have gotten compliments galore every time I wear them. Some I've only worn once, but the compliment factor was like out of this world. Excuse me. So, first up, I'm going to go with this is in no particular order either because, um, well, I'll go from least to greatest. I'll do it like that. So, first up is also going to be a shocker to some people because this is a barbershop type scent. I didn't expect when I wore this or even when I purchased it to get any compliments from it. I actually was just purchasing it just because it was in the same house as the original, and this is actually the original. This is from the house of Azaro. Excuse me. This is Azaro Porom. This is a barbershop scent, very clean, fresh. If you've ever been to the barbershop and you smelled it, You know what it smells like. You get that alcohol mixed with the sprays and whatever else they use. Um, it smells just like it. I wore this to work, and surprisingly, I got so many compliments. And a lot of the compliments came from older women, more mature women, not the younger crowd. So that was very appreciative of me. This is Azaro Pour Homme. If you don't own it, pick it up. I like it. I like barbershop scents anyway. This is nice, very nice. Um, Next up, I'm gonna go with this. Actually, I can't remember which one I wore that particular day, um, but I did get a lot of compliments the day I wore it, and I just did a video on these, and one of these, either hashtag Generation by Playboy or Playboy New York, I had on one day, and I got compliments like crazy. I got compliments from I don't know if you would call her a paramedic, but a transport paramedic, I guess. Told me that I had the whole hallway smelling like my cologne, which smelled good. I got a few other compliments. I'm not sure which one it was, New York or hashtag Generation, but either one you can't go wrong. And for the price of like $6.99 at Bell's, you can't beat it. So if you see either one of these is not a bad choice. Both of them are sweet fragrances. I mean, amazing, guys. So pick it up. Playboy New York, Playboy hashtag Generation. That is the only tie that I have in my number 9 spot. Number 8, I will go with, since I haven't worn this in a while, this house is actually, or was actually, a very big surprise to me, and this thing is dusty because I haven't been wearing it, but I have 5 flankers from this house. Um, this is one of the first ones I purchased from this house. I think the first one was a oud fragrance, which wasn't bad. It wasn't my favorite, but I have learned to like it. And I actually need to start wearing these again. I've only worn these maybe once or twice since I've had them. And I think I purchased them either earlier last year when I first started my collection or the year before. I can't remember. But anyway, this one is from the house of Black is Black for Men. This is Black is Black Sport. And I know people have been talking about it a little bit. You don't really get a lot of the big, well-known name reviewers talking about this house. Um, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to say these smell generic, and they like to throw that word generic around. The only thing I know is that a fragrance smells good or it doesn't smell good. I don't give a shit about generic. I don't give a shit about um, whatever they throw out there negative about a fragrance. Me personally, if I like it and if people around me are complimenting me and are liking this fragrance, that's all that matters to me. So keep your generics and all that other crap that you want to throw out there. This is a nice scent. Black is Black Sport. When I wore this to work, I got compliments from every walk of life. Trust me. This is a sport type fragrance. This is something you could wear to the gym. You can wear this to work. You can use this as a dummery scent. Um, I wouldn't really recommend wearing this on a date, but you could if you wanted to. Um, Very long lasting fragrance. And for the price of about, what did I pay? About between 10 and maybe $15. You can't beat it. I haven't seen these lately. These were actually, I purchased all of mine from TJ Maxx, but you can find these online, such as on Fragrance X. Um, Pretty cheap, inexpensive, great scent nonetheless. Check them out. Black is Black for Men Sport. my number 7 spot, we're gonna go with one I've just done a video on. Also, and I had to throw this in because as I looked around at my fragrances and the amount of stuff that I have and ones I haven't worn yet, so this list will change in the future. But as of right now, just from the memory that I have and what people have complimented me on, this is one of them. Freshly bought Silver Scent Deep by Jacques Bogart Paris. I wore this past Friday and I got a lot of compliments off of this fragrance. A lot. Even from a resident at the senior care center. So it says a lot. One negative comment, like I said in my last video, that this one chick that works with me, she always has something to say about my fragrances. She never likes anything that I wear. She did like one of the Playboy scents that I wore one day. I can't remember which one it was, but you know, it was what it was. Who cares? Anyway, her opinion don't really matter to me. So anyway, for about 15 to 17 bucks, you can purchase this online. Silver Scent Deep. Check it out. So next up, number 6. Number 6 is gonna be from the house of Armaf. This is Aura Eau de Parfum. I wore this to work and I got so many compliments off of this. One of the guys, he sells scented oils, and he smelled me in the hallway. I was going to lunch and I passed him and he stopped me and asked me what I had on, and I told him, and he acted like, oh man, I can order that. I can order that. Because he only does scented oils. Homeboy, I don't think you can order Aura. Sorry. Unless somebody has made a scented oil that smells like this, I don't think you can find this as a scented oil. So try again, homie. Anyway, I paid about $45 for this. I probably could have found it for cheaper if I ordered it online. But being that we have a new store here in the mall and I do want to support him some, I have purchased a few fragrances from him. And this has not been a letdown. This is Aura. This is Eau de Parfum by Armaf. Magnetic cap. So you are getting a pretty decent presentation on this. Not the strongest magnetic cap, but it is magnetic nonetheless. Great scent. Kind of gives you the vibe of maybe Invictus, I think. It's supposed to be a clone of something. I just can't remember what it is. And Armaf is a house that does a lot of clones. So I believe that is what this is supposed to be a clone of. Invictus. Kind of has that sweetness like it. So if you don't have it, check it out. This is Aura. Number 5. I'm going to go with, and I'm pretty sure if you see the shape of this bottle, you already know what this is. The fragrance community is on fire when it comes to this fragrance. If you've ever smelled Creed's Green Irish Tweed, then this is Tres Nuit Pour Homme from the house of Armaf. This is a clone of Green Irish Tweed. Very, very, very nice scent. I actually think when I purchased, if it wasn't this, I purchased something else from the guy in the mall, and he gave me a big sample vial of Tres Nuit. And I actually wore it the day I was going to the State Patrol office to renew my license. And it was 2 young ladies at the front desk that smelled me, and I mean the whole conversation just went left. They were talking about how good I smelled, why I came in there smelling like I was smelling, and all this. And then there was a older woman that came out from the back. She said her door was closed, and she could smell me all the way in the back. So she came out to find out who it was and what did I have on. And then I got to work that day, which I was off. I think I was on vacation that week. And I walked through the hospital just, minding my own business, speaking to people. And like I had the hospital on fire when I wore this. This thing is crazy. I think I purchased this one also from the mall for about $40 or $45. Great scent. Can't beat it. Compliment getter. Tres Nuit. Pick it up, guys. Next up, I'm going to go with, from the house of Bulgari. This is Bulgari Aqua Marine Pour-On. This thing, I may have worn this twice since I had it. And I think I purchased it from TJ Maxx for about, I want to say about $40, $35, $40. It might have been 30, I'm not sure. It's been a while. Excuse me. But I wore this thing to work. And I walked through, and you can go back, if you don't believe me, go back and find this video on YouTube. And it might have been before I gave myself the name Mr. Cheap Sense, but look up Keith Crook, KeithCrook, and this video may be under that name, or it could be under Mr. Cheap Sense, either one. I wore this to work one day, and I walked through the SICU CCU unit, and it was like 2 Caucasian young ladies and one chick that I knew from a friend of mine. It's his ex-old lady. We walked through, and the 2 young Caucasian ladies was like, anytime you want to walk through here smelling like that, you can. I got so many compliments when I wore this to work that day. This thing is an aquatic scent, has a little saltiness to it, very nice, very this is inoffensive, can be worn mostly spring and summer. Me personally, I don't like to put my fragrances under any kind of umbrella, because if I feel like I want to wear something any time of the year, I'm going to wear it regardless. Now, I may lack in performance when I do that, but I'm still going to wear it nonetheless. Most of the time, I'm in climate-controlled environments anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But this is Bulgari Aquamarine. So if you don't have this, check it out. And they do have flankers that I want to check out. They have one at TJ Maxx now that I want, but it's still like $60, and it's in a gift set. But I'm going to check out the other ones anyway. At my number 3 spot, I'm going to go with this one. And I'm pretty sure you already know by now what this is. This is Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio Absolute. I didn't purchase this one. A friend of mine purchased it along with another fragrance that she purchased for me. I'm very appreciative of it. This thing, I smelled it in Belks, and it smelled nice, but this is actually something I personally would not have purchased for myself. As great as it smells, that price tag was a little steep, and I don't know whether she paid full retail for this and the other one, but this thing was like 70, 80, probably $90. And then she purchased this one and something else. I can't remember what it was. Mont Blanc Legend. That's what it was. She purchased that one also. And I know she paid a pretty penny for both of these for retail. So I wore this to the Jerk Shack. If you're here in this area, or if you're not, well, if you're here in this area, you know what the Jerk Shack is. For those of you who don't know, who are not from Brunswick, Georgia, we have a spot called the Jerk Shack, and they sell Jamaican food. It's a nightclub, um, hall, but it's the only place around here that I know of that's really jumping. I don't really do clubs and bars. I'm, older now, 41 years old. I don't get out like that. Too much drama and stuff going on in the world for me to be out there in the middle of, other people's arguments and getting shot at and stuff like that. So I did go one night with my sister and some of her friends. And the night I wore this, I got almost bum rushed by this young lady. They smelled me. It was a group of females standing at the door. It smelled me when I came in. And I guess I was on this one chick's mind the whole time because of this scent. And I was kind of fresh that night. After the club, I wasn't even paying attention. I was just leaving. I was a little tipsy. And I just felt somebody grab me and pull me back up on the sidewalk. And this young lady was telling me, "Oh my God, you smell so good," and yada, yada, yada. And, so that's why I threw this in there. Those are the kind of reactions I be getting. Those are the kind of reactions I love getting from wearing fragrances. So, Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio Absolute. Check it out. Now, my number 2 and number 1 spot can be flip-flopped, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the obvious. I'm going to go with Club de Nuit Intense Man at my number 2. Even though I said earlier this is my number 1 fragrance, as I was going through my fragrances, pulling out for my top 10 most complimented list, I remembered that I had this other fragrance and what kind of commotion it caused the day I wore it. So this is number 2. This is Club de Nuit Intense Man. What can I say that hasn't already been said about this fragrance? It is a clone of, here we go again, Creed's Aventus. I don't have a problem with Creed's Aventus. I just don't like the price tag, and I'm actually getting tired of hearing about Aventus. That's all I hear. Even though it is the king of fragrances as of right now, every channel that you go to, somebody always has Aventus as their number 1, or their best fragrance of all time, or the greatest this, it's the champ that, and it's king this, and king Aventus that, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, we all know it's the king. Okay, whatever. I can't afford it. I've never smelled it. Sorry. $35 for Club de Nuit Intense Man. Smells, I'm not going to say just as good, but smells good also. For me, it's a banger. Every time I put this on, I get compliments wherever I go. It's proven to be a standalone in the clone world, the test of time. So, Club de Nuit Intense, man, check it out, guys. And my number 1 spot is kind of gonna be a surprising fragrance to a lot of people, because you probably wouldn't even expect this one to be a banger, especially if you know nothing about this fragrance. I saw it over the years as I was growing up, and I always thought it was more of a female fragrance. I never looked at the box to see that it said for men, and I've seen the other day in Bell's that they have a women's version of this. I've never smelled the women's version, but if it smells anything like the man version, trust me, it's gonna be a banger. Yes, it is. You already know. This thing got me so many compliments when I wore this, and I am not exaggerating. And if you don't believe me, I think I've done 2 videos on this in the past year or so. This thing, and I haven't worn it since. Women were going ape shit crazy when I had this on. I don't know what the fuck. I know the note breakdown. I don't remember it off top, but I do know what's in it, and it is sweet. Something in this drives women crazy. I'm telling you, this thing is crazy, and I have not worn this since. I think I've worn this twice to work, and I have not worn it since. And it's amazing. I've seen another bottle of this in Ross, and I think I'm gonna purchase a backup bottle of this just to have it. I'm not even halfway done with this thing. It's like a quarter of the way down, but I want to purchase another bottle of this just to have it as backup, because this thing is amazing, man. I don't I don't know what's in this, but it is amazing. It really is truly amazing, man. Like, all the compliments that I've gotten from all these other fragrances paled in comparison to what I got with this. Women actually was walking up to me and sniffing me when I had this on. And you can go back and check out my other videos. I've talked about this several times over when I first started doing reviews, and you'll see. I this this thing had me feeling like I was about to get molested. Like, I had to watch my back going down the hallways because people were following me and trying to be in the same vicinity just to smell what it smells like. So, yeah, I bought Mambo for men, and I haven't worn it yet. But I had a friend of mine over here, and she said that she smelled Mambo for men, and she said women love that fragrance. I haven't worn it yet. I haven't even done a review on that fragrance yet, but I am going to wear it, I think, sometime next week, just to see what kind of reactions I'm going to get. I like the smell of it. When I first smelled it, like way back when I was younger, I didn't really care for it. My nose wasn't into fragrances like that. I tried to get into it. I had, little fragrances back in the day like Aspen. I had Old Spice and stuff like that. I think the first real fragrance, like name brand, like well-known name brand fragrance I ever had was probably the original Burberry, and that was my signature scent until I met my ex-girlfriend and she took it from me. But I have it again. It's a small bottle of it, but I have it again. But yeah, I still have some stuff that I want to review, man. I have a Mugler fragrance that I haven't done yet. I have a Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance that I haven't reviewed yet. I have a Coach fragrance that I haven't reviewed yet. Um, I have quite a few. Yeah, so I appreciate the comments and the feedback, bro. Um, it just is what it is, man. I mean, I don't be knowing sometimes what these fragrances be having in them. Like, women actually literally be going crazy over some of the stuff I be wearing. Like, everything that I just showed you, except my honorable mentions, have been like true to the game. Like, I've really been getting mauled and compliments, and people have been sniffing and grabbing and pulling at me just because of these fragrances. I mean, I know a lot of it has something to do with, the way you dress and your swagger, how you carry yourself, and it makes you seem sexier, more attractive, and then you got on a fragrance that's just projecting, and you know all of that put together, it makes a great combination. And that's one of the reasons why I got into fragrances, man. To be honest with you, um, I never really seen myself as a handsome or attractive man. A lot of women found me cute or handsome, but never really wanted to give me a chance as, boyfriend material or whatever, be they man. My self esteem was a little low, especially dealing with my last relationship. It took a lot out of me, so um, I'm getting a little older. Um, I was trying to find something to help, you know, boost me a little bit, my confidence level, and it just so happened to be I started buying different clothes, dressing a little different, but fragrances have been the one constant that keeps me motivated. I can spray something on, even though I'm going to work. I can spray something on, and just to get that reaction from someone saying that I smell good, um, it does a lot for me. I can't speak for nobody else. Me personally, it cheers me up. It gives me confidence, and especially to know that I can make someone's day just by smelling good and you know them complimenting me and make me feel good. So that's pretty much what I do this for. I don't do this for likes as far as like on my channels. I don't do it for um, out here trying to pick up women just because I smell good. I don't do it for that. I do it just because it makes me feel good sometimes. So with that being said, I got one more video to do on Facebook. So if you don't, I don't really care if people follow me on Facebook, but if you choose to, you can follow me on Facebook. I pretty much do the same thing on Facebook that I do on YouTube. I do fragrance reviews in which it may be worded a little different, but I'm going to do the same review on Facebook. I used to do it on Instagram, but I don't get feedback on Instagram, so I really don't even do Instagram videos anymore. Um, but if anyone is not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Let your friends know about me, even if you don't, even if you can't explain it to them or tell them. Show them the video. I'm not the most charismatic person in the world. I don't have a lot of energy when it comes to fragrances and talking about stuff because I'm still fairly new to this. Um, I do have great content, and my fragrances are not overly priced. I don't do all that high price stuff. I'm going to go to Bells. I'm going to go to Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington Coat Factory. I order online. I find the best cheap fragrances of best bang for the buck. Um, and if I don't like something, guaranteed I'm gonna tell you I don't like it. If I don't like the price of something, like those Creed fragrances, like Dior, like what else can I put out there? Whatever kind of high price fragrance that's out there, um, Sauvage, um, Blue Day Chanel, stuff like that. If I can find a good deal on that stuff, I'll purchase it. I'll say it like that. Anything above $60, I can't do it. Like, to me, it's gonna hurt me to do it. And if I do purchase it, I'm gonna feel like I want to take it back. So that's just me personally speaking. I can't speak for the next man. I don't count the next man's money or check his pockets. If you can afford it, purchase it. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm just speaking from my standpoint. I can't purchase all that high price stuff. Nothing on this table that I paid for cost me over $50. So I mean, can't beat it. Even this 1 million Lucky, I think I paid maybe $45 for this at TJ Maxx. So I mean, that was inexpensive. I think this Invictus Intense from TJ Maxx, I think I paid 45, maybe $50 for this, which wasn't bad. Um, this one I think was about 40 something dollars, between 35 and 40 something dollars. That wasn't bad. and everything else was $35 or $45. With the exception of this one, which probably was like $15. Can't beat it. Like I said, these were $6.99 at Bell's. Can't beat it. The only one that probably was the highest was this one, and I didn't even buy this. Somebody else purchased it. So, I think Bora Bora was like $10. You might be able to find it for like $6 or $7, but I think this was like $10 at Ross. 35. Club De Nuit Intense Man ordered it. Fragrance X. About $17 for Silver Scent Deep online. This was like $10-15. What? About 40, 45. And I'm pretty sure you can get it for cheaper than that online. Even this one, about 40, 45 bucks. And he gave me a discount on this. It actually was like 50 something dollars, but he gave me a little discount. So, I mean, what more can I say, man? Anyway, let me get this other video out of the way. Thank you guys for watching. Keep checking me out. I got more stuff coming. I have videos I haven't even done yet. Fragrances I haven't even revealed. Stay tuned. I'm out.